We're about to delve into the magical realm where spirituality meets tabletop. We're going to be taking our dice rolls a place no one has gone before.
We've all experienced those moments of despair where the dice rolls just don't go in our favor. Critical fails, botched saves, and missed opportunities. But some of us seem to have a more interesting curse.
So, we decided to do something completely different. Something that transcends the boundaries of our gaming world. To hopefully rid me of these godforsaken, cursed hands.
We've invited Celine, a psychic medium and a Reiki practitioner, renowned for their ability to tap into spiritual energies to help Vince overcome his unlucky rolls. Our hope is that through this unique experience, we'll be able to cleanse Vince of his negative energies, opening up a new chapter of fortune for the cast party.
Together, the cast and crew has embarked on countless challenges and gone on epic quests. But today, we're doing something different. Today, we're going to challenge our beliefs and everything we thought we knew about this game.
So grab your dice, sit back, and prepare to witness an extraordinary fusion between the mundane and the mystical.
Will we conquer our unlucky rolls? Will the spiritual energy cleanse our hands and bring balance back to our games?
Join us as we embark on this enchanting adventure where fate and magic intertwine. And the realm of D&D meets the realm of the spiritual.
Hello, Celine. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to get right into it. I wanted you to have a chance to kind of explain yourself to the audience, what you do, and how you kind of found out these powers and like how you got into this line of work.
When I first realized I was psychic, I was honestly just maybe 5 or 6 years old. I have a very early memory of thinking it was a game, that people would think certain things and then say other things and what they were thinking. And I thought that everybody could hear what people were thinking. So it kind of took me a while to realize that that wasn't the norm, that it wasn't like a game that people were playing. I used to always kind of have really intense dreams, like my father in specific, who's Cherokee, taught me how to do Cherokee dream magic, which is essentially like a way of connecting in with your spirit before you sleep so that you have awake dreams and you can actually control them and specifically like kind of ask certain questions of the spirits. So I think that was sort of like my first, it was like a normal thing for me growing up. When I was like 18, I was diagnosed with cancer and I ended up I was going to healers and I ended up going to a shaman. And so that's when it really sort of started like changing for me, and I got really intensely, into, shamanism and healing work, and kept my own practice with with my own group of people for a while, but I didn't start doing it professionally until like 2017.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I am so excited. This is my first time ever doing a psychic reading of any kind. Right. So I'm so excited. If you want to begin however you do.
What kind of question do you have? What do you want to look at?
Let's start with future. I know you can't do timelines, but my plan is to look for how my creativity is going to be growing. I have a very different career than I do in my downtime, which is so much of this podcast and everything. It relies so heavily on creativity and coming up with storylines and everything like that. And so I want to see kind of maybe how that creativity is going to grow and if there's anything I can do.
In specific towards like career or just like?
That is the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to see if that's going to move into more of like.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I see. I'm just going to ask which cards want to help. Okay. All right. So take 8 from this pile.
8 from this pile.
And 5 from this pile. And then take 2 from this pile. Yay. So these are the guides that you're working with. Okay, interesting. All right. Just state your name real quick again. Just say your name and then your last initial.
Colin M.
Okay, Colin M. Okay, so I see A growing really, really fast. So your creativity is kind of like, sort of like a strong stream of energy that's coming through you, and I don't see a lot of blocks. So it's sort of like once you start going in something, you don't stop. Like you just, you're like very focused. Like some people's creativity is like an up and down, or like there's plateaus. Like for you, it's just super steady and super strong, right? So the second thing that I'm seeing here in the cards, Horus is the first card that's popping up to me. He's really a friend of humans, where some of the other guys aren't so friendly, right? So it's a lot of like, positive energy, like, ascending to the next phase of human development, the age of Aquarius. Horus is helping with that. Lord Shiva is about like breaking through barriers. So especially for you, it feels like with like sound and dance, it's like a very positive, destructive energy. I don't know this guide as well, but it's saying that it's helping with inner strength. So there's just a fire that's burning deep inside of you, right? So you have this passion, this fire. You also have a lot of light energy that you're working with, and a lot of grace. Interesting enough, so my guides were saying to take the demon deck out for you, and I feel like you have a nice balance between the dark and the light. Like it feels to me like the demons that came out are actually like helping you with what you're doing. So it doesn't really feel like it's a negative thing. It feels like you can balance those things. But these are the shamanic cards. So these are ones that actually came to me through a shamanic. Like I did a meditation and asked for tarot cards, and literally the next day they were like all out on the outside of these cards was like a whole, they're just plain cards, but they're all on the sidewalk. So they just kind of have to do with what sort of animals are with you and how I feel about them. I feel like friendship is a really important part of all of this for you, which is, pretty obvious, but friendship is something that comes through. Also, there's different kinds of levels of the friendship. Like there's a sense of protection with this friendship. There's a sense of sort of like us against the world with this friendship. I see that there's a lot of young energy here as well. And there's a good sense of like squirreling away for the future, like thinking about how you're going to actually implement things into real life. There's a really good understanding of sort of like territory that kind of translates to how you see yourself in how you're marketing yourself in terms of media, things like that. Like you have a good understanding of marketing. I'm seeing that there's definitely like an inner peace that's working with you that kind of like helps you through everything. Like how to like calmly make these decisions that you need to, and you're open to transformation. So you're not like stuck in a rut, Really, it's just mostly good things.
Hello, Celine.
Hi,
Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, it's okay.
My question for you is,
Yes.
I have very bad imposter syndrome. So yeah, I don't feel like I deserve the success that I have garnered. I want to make sure that I am doing good within the community, the tabletop role-playing community.
So you feel guilty all the time. You feel guilty constantly, basically.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any insight that I could possibly gather from that.
Sure.
To see if I am where I'm supposed to be, and I have earned this spot where I am at.
I can look at it with the cards.
Okay.
Okay. I can scan your aura, which I would say probably should definitely scan your aura.
Ooh, okay. I would like
and
that.
I would say that also probably a good thing to do would be to, do some checking in with on the astral plane to see what's going on with your energy field.
Yeah, okay.
With that sort of thing. So places that I'm feeling that need the most like that are hard and need the most work. A little bit in your throat. Okay, I feel a little bit in your sacral chakra. So that's your creative chakra. So I feel like it's not that you don't speak the truth, right? But it's that you have been questioned. Your own truth has been questioned before. You actually don't have a lot of clouds in your third eye, which means that your mind isn't going. Like, you can see the future like pretty well. You can see what you want. You can see how you're gonna get it. The guilt, to me, with your sacral chakra just means that somebody at some point harmed your creative energy. I feel like it's coming from a masculine energy. Okay, like I feel like it might be somebody who is pushing down your creative energy and telling you that you needed to follow something more legitimate. It's an invasive intrusion of self. And so what happens is that you start experiencing like feelings of guilt, right? Where you're just trying to fully express yourself, right? So for some reason too, I feel like maybe the same character really over questions you when you say your own truth. So this is the thing, is that I feel like you have some pain in your heart, right? But you have a big heart. Like, you have like a really big heart, and that kind of like counteracts the pain that you feel in your heart. But it is there, you know what I mean? And so it's like you're just kind of like shining light through it. But then those little pieces sort of, I think they're the ones that make you feel like you're lying, like you're putting on like a fake smile, or, you know, like when really it's just that you're ignoring that you feel unseen by somebody who you love. So that's the main thing that's coming up. So how do you feel about all that?
Good. Relieving.
It is relieving?
It is.
I mean, we can look towards the future too with the cards if you want to do that also. The main thing I'm seeing in your reading is that you have a really strong connection to heaven, right? So you have a really good like connection with like angelic benevolent energy. You also know how to translate that into action. So when you get like an idea or something in your head, you know like directly, okay, this is a call to action. This is how I get it done. You're really connected to the earth, but you're connected to the earth in like a very like Mother Earth, feminine power, respectful, ocean, you know, flowing kind of way. In regards to what's grounding you and what's helping you, you know, move forward that's positive is sort of like celebration, connecting with friends. You have a lot of positive feminine energy here. So a lot of positive moon specifically energy here. The moon always represents like dark to light, right? So it means like you have a full scope of that working with you. I do see that there are gonna be some losses, right? In terms of like physical losses. But you have a lot of really great ideas, and it's sort of like ideas just come to you really easily. You are gonna have to pick up your sword sometimes and fight, right? So it's like you have two different parts that are working with you. One of it is that you know how to fight your way into something. Like you know how to get what you want, right? The other one is that you know how to command what you want, right? So you also know how to sort of like play the bureaucratic role, and you have sort of like a magic in the way that you do that, right? So you know how to command in sort of that sort of spirit, you know? You also have a lot of like personal tools that you draw from within yourself. So that's part of the reason that you have the success that you have. The reason that you do fall into some losses, which we see here, for me, what I'm seeing in this reading, it has to do with guilt for fighting. Okay, and you're ruminating too much with losses, right? So what I'm seeing is that it's really important for you to fight. Like you need to pick up your sword and fight. Like you need to, you know, command and get what you want. It's not gonna just come to you. Sometimes it does. It does in the form of ideas. And it does in the form of creative flow, but it's not gonna come in the form of physical. So the thing that I'm seeing is that you feel guilty about this. You feel like you need to be Mother Teresa, Gandhi, you know, and you're not Gandhi, you're not Mother Teresa, you're yourself, right? And sometimes, you know, that Neanderthal part of ourselves is good.
Hi, Celine.
Hi, Nigel.
I'm so glad that you're here with us, doing this with us. Very excited because this is, for I think all of us, our first time. Definitely me,
Nice.
and obviously Ryan and Colin too. So
Awesome.
to jump right into it, I love being the center of attention. That is just clear across the board. No matter if you see me in things, if you are interacting with me at any function, like I love to be that.
Yeah.
I also kind of, in this sense, struggle with the sense of individualism because, like, I want to be seen as an individual. I want to be seen as me, but I also never want to put down anyone else to do that. How do I maintain my individualism while also building up the people that I care about?
So the first thing that's popping up from this reading when I'm looking at it is I feel like you feel that you have to slow down for other people. Okay, so you're somebody who things come, you're very fast thinking, like your mind is very quick, it's very sharp. The other thing that I'm seeing is that you have a good, I don't want to say good relationship with money, but money is not an issue for you. Okay, so I feel like that's part of where your guilt comes from too. I want to say like money comes to you, right? But I feel like you also come with money. So these things are causing you to feel guilty. So like, okay, so you think really far outside of the box, right? You're super creative and you kind of like go on your own path, right? So you're a little wild, right? You can domesticate, right? But it's only in the sense of like you have a lot of grace. You actually come with a significant amount of grace, which you kind of rebel against. So you're taught to be almost like, I want to say like royal in the way that you deal with people, right? But then you are this little wild creature, right? So you feel guilty. You're like, oh, how do I, you have all these preconceived notions that this unhinged person that you are on the inside, this like goofball, is gonna trample over everybody else. And what about other people? It's honestly just, BS that you're telling yourself. The other thing that I'm seeing is that you have like a really strong commanding spirit. So you're really good again at like, you're a leader, which you have guilt about. You also have guilt, interesting enough, about the fact that you feel peaceful. You're like happy in your heart.
Yeah.
None of these things are bad things. It's silly and ridiculous for you to feel bad about that. Your heart, your luck, your abundance, these are all things that just, they came with you and it's because you deserve it, right? And wanting to make people laugh and have fun in life is not a bad thing, right? So I see that you're also really good at like, again, squirreling away and planning and doing what you need to do. So these are things that you feel positive about, okay? You're flamboyant in a very masculine way, which you like, which is something you feel good about with your personality. And you have a good amount of innocence and purity within you that you feel good about. So the reading came up essentially showing me what you feel bad about and what you feel good about, right? And what you came with. All those things that you feel bad about, I'm not gonna be like, oh, like you feel bad about them for a reason. My shaman used to call them belief concepts, right? So there are these ideas that we decide are reality that are not really reality, that we hold on to, and they become and they shape our reality, right? And so when you're moving into the creative sphere and you like, those things are gonna be really awful to take with you because creativity is very spiritual. There's a lot of magic there. And so if you're taking this with you, all of these kind of old concepts and, structure and boxes are essentially screaming out, being like, no, you can't be free. You can't go forward in your light and creativity and freedom. And you gotta just kind of realize that when they pop up, they don't mean anything. So what I see first right here is that you're fairly defensive. You have a strong sense of power. So you have a lot of power, right? So that's a reason that because your heart is very, very like shelled in, like you're very shelled in And this is because when you think about the parts of you that feel safe or want to be vulnerable, you have like an intrinsic defense system that's up. And so there's like, so that anger, because you have a lot of emotional, like you have a lot of emotions that are sort of untouched. And in relationships, when people get you in a vulnerable place where they start touching it, you get defensive because you don't like to feel vulnerable. So what's happening is that you essentially kind of have bad karma. But it doesn't mean like you're a bad person or you mean poorly by people. It's just that you are shelled off. Like people that are meant to be coming into your life, you're like a wall. Like even if you're nice and sweet, the second that it starts going under that shell and touching that, you're like, no. All right, so we can do a cleansing. I'm gonna just do it mainly on your heart.
Okay.
I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Imagine where you are inside of your body. So it's almost like if you're looking out from your body, right? Okay. So like for me, if I'm looking out from my body, I feel like my energy is like here, right? So for you, you want to like sort of scan when you're breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. You're going to scan like, where do I feel like I'm coming from? Like, where is my body? Do you know what I mean? Like your consciousness.
Yeah.
Okay, so just start doing that. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Where do you feel yourself right now? Point to where you feel yourself.
Towards the chest.
More towards the chest. Okay, good. So just keep going in towards that chest. That's exactly where I want you to be. Breathing in through your nose. And out through your mouth. And I want you to imagine kind of looking at trees, okay? So like trees moving in the wind. Breathing in through your nose. I want to hear it. Deep breaths. And as you're doing this, I want you to imagine trees sort of moving in the wind. And just imagine the air moving in between the trees and between the leaves, and what that beautiful sound is. And imagine that in the middle of your chest, going in through the nose and out through the mouth. And now I want you to imagine like a little kind of red shell or a red nut. Tell me when you see that.
Yeah.
You see it? Mm-hmm. So I want you to imagine that air, okay, being filled with this powerful, beautiful green and pink energy, right? Green, pink, white energy. And I'm feeling the energy of Kuan Yin coming in, okay? So Kuan Yin, you're gonna kind of see this woman, she's like wearing all white, she has flowers all around her, she's in heaven. Do you see her?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's gonna start sending this beautiful white energy, these pink and purple lotuses, and they're just coming in, and they're just moving in from the top of your head, moving down. This energy of these trees and these leaves, and they're just sort of surrounding this shell and slowly breaking it, okay? So we're gonna just break that shell right now. It's just kind of like dissolving it. Do you see it dissolving it?
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to say, I am safe.
I am safe.
It is safe to love.
It is safe to love.
And I want you to say, I am loved.
I am loved.
I am worth loving.
I am worth loving.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I'm just working on cracking that shell. Okay, now you see the shell kind of free now? And what does it look like?
Almost looks like a plate.
It looks like a plate, nice. It's kind of open, right?
Yeah.
Ready to receive love.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want you to imagine now Kuan Yin. Okay, she's gonna start sending this white energy. It's kind of like holographic. It has like all the colors of the rainbow in it, and it's just gonna start putting it around that plate, okay? In a nice bubble, and that's gonna keep you really safe, okay? It's gonna keep you really safe. And I feel like it's done. There you go. How do you feel?
Cool.
You feel cool?
Yeah.
Nice. How was that experience for you?
It's interesting. It's
Yeah.
definitely a first. I
Like
haven't
you get lots of
experienced that.
visuals and
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
When you started talking about the trees, I'd spent a lot of time as a kid in the woods with a lot of my friends, and I don't know why I just started thinking of like the woods I would hang out in all the
Yeah.
time, and as weird as it sounds, like almost like a tornado off in the distance, just like causing like this rush
Yeah,
of wind
nice.
through. That's like first thing that popped in my mind with
Oh,
it.
wow.
Yeah. As I was thinking about that tornado, as weird as it sounds, I started thinking of like a nerdy, but Mario, like a Koopa shell. And then Princess Peach, but like in the movie where she's like in her white outfit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just started thinking of that. It was
That's
really
okay.
weird.
That's
It was
awesome.
really
That's
weird.
perfect.
Yeah. So that was really interesting, and just like the fire from her and all that. And
like
then,
all this stuff that brings you happiness,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like these are good memories, you know?
yeah, that was.
And then
that
you
was
kind of
awesome.
like feel like lighter here, right?
Yeah.
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 So hopefully that's it. I mean, I'm sure you'll carry that with you. It'll be awesome. You'll see. Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. That was really interesting. Like I said, it was really cool, and I appreciate it.
Awesome.
So, now we're on hot one. So you got your seat. It's nice and hot. Where you got a guy here, you got a guy there, and you got a guy right there. Tell everyone, where can we find you? Your website. Where can we find you online? What do you do? Everything. Give us
All
the
right, well,
deets.
thank you so much. Okay, so thanks again, guys, for having me. My website is completechakra.com. It's www.completechakra.com. I'm on keen.com. It's very easy to find keen.com. The name is Cyrene Celine. It's Syrene and then Celine. And so you can call me, or I have lots of different things that I offer online and in person,
Awesome.
mainly online. And then
Okay.
Instagram, Cyrene Celine.
Awesome.
If you want to find me that
Okay.
way too. So
Beautiful.
yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, and everybody go
Thanks,
look her
guys.
up online.
Yeah.
You got all of her info.
Thank
Thank you so much.
much.
Thank you all so much for joining us on this interesting, crazy, lovely, amazing adventure that we had together. Thank you so much, Celine. You were wonderful. We love you. And hopefully with your help, these hands will no longer kill my members of the cast and crew. And hopefully that I will just be a better roller and player overall. So again, thank you all so much for joining us. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, and follow us on Spotify and Insta and all the fun stuff. Thank you, everybody. We love you so much.